President of the United States, the man with the nuclear codes at his fingertips, grappling with a bowl of lettuce. He can barely feed himself. Let's watch this for a second. This isn't slowed down. This isn't edited. This is Joe trying to eat a bite of salad. Just watch. Just watch. This man has a nuclear code. Look. That's the President of the United States. The man who's going to push back on Russia, China, North Korea. Are you kidding me? He can't even take a bite of his own salad. This man's not suited for the job for 4 more minutes, let alone 4 more years.
No, calm down, Eric. This guy gets this amped up over old man biting eating salad too slowly, but it's very calm when his president promises to be a dictator and expects absolute immunity. I think the guy that slowly reaches for the nuclear codes is less volatile than the guy whose lawyer argued for him to be free to murder his political enemies.
To authorize the prosecution of a president for his official acts would open a Pandora's box from which this nation may never recover.
So can I explore sort of the implications of what you're arguing? I understand your position to be that a president is immune from criminal prosecution for any official act that he takes as president. Could a president order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6?
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted before the criminal prosecution.
But if he weren't, there would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that?
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and our constitutional tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not.
I asked you a yes or no question. Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
so your answer is no.
My answer is qualified yes. There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution, which would require impeachment and conviction by the Senate.
Isn't that what Trump is falsely complaining about every day? That he's facing legal consequences over for his actions during and after his presidency. That Joe Biden's using the justice system to attack him, his political enemy. But that same victim of the justice system is demanding the right to openly kill whoever he wants and just stash it in the official acts bucket of the presidency. He made that un-American argument in front of a lower court back in January and had the nerve to present it to the Supreme Court that Trump had faith would rule in his favor.
I'm going to give you a chance to say if you stay by it. If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could, and why?
We're arguing over the most anti-American points ever, in broad daylight. But Eric Bolling is hopping mad over Joe Biden eating a salad too slowly. These guys in Trump world obviously don't expect anyone else to utilize their desire to murder political enemies, or else they'd be worried about the current president taking action on it before November. They know the violent base and gang of yes men that Trump has cultivated will support and engage in whatever bloodshed he wants. He's not shy about saying so.
There's one noted passage that I want to bring up, and that was about political violence. This interview was done in 2 separate sittings. In the first one, he was asked about political violence in relation to the November election. He said he wasn't worried about it. In the second phone conversation, he was asked about it again, and this is what he said. He essentially said he wasn't worried about it because they were going to win, but then he adds this. If we don't win, it depends. It always depends on the fairness of the election.
And as we already know, the reality of election fairness is something he determines for his foot soldiers that already proved to us that they're ready to kill if he baselessly claims unfairness. It's a literal threat. If I don't win this election, I'm going to tell MAGA to attack. And if I do win, I'll use my immunity to eliminate anyone that opposes my political will during my reign. But it's not all murderers and false claims of election fraud. Trump and Mitch McConnell successfully staked their claim over the Supreme Court for a reason. He and his allies expect the court to endorse their fascism so that he can truly be untouchable. But they call everyone else the mafia.
That case should be thrown out. The Supreme Court should intervene sua sponte and throw the case out, and throw the judge out, and put the little group he said right in jail. They're more dangerous to this country than Monaco, Garland, with the son-in-law, and this guy Colangelo, and Bragg. Basically, they are involved in a massive obstruction of justice in prosecuting an innocent man, interfering in an election, and in many ways, a form of being treasonous against the United States. They are worse than the mafia.